literally taught on how to handle the media through, multiple different ways, with the team, with the NFL. Our individual team was a little more about it. And that was just so we didn't make a distraction, which is an oxymoron considering what's going on in North Carolina. It's time for the Chill Zone.
Yeah, baby.
Brought to you by our favorite beer, Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/GWN. And always celebrate responsibly.
Cheers, brother.
Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on how the media works in the NFL. Let's get into it.
Yeah, just a little pull back the curtain. And
Pull back the curtain.
Kyler and I get to kind of play fans and bounce it off you and see what really goes on in the NFL.
All right, let's see.
In this sector that is the media.
All right.
Today we're focusing on, we've done injuries, coming back from injuries, contract negotiations. We're trying to paint the whole ecosystem and get that insider info.
All right, let's go with this. What's
From
media?
the man himself. Let's kick it off with, what is media training like in the NFL?
When you get drafted, at least when I was getting drafted, I still believe they still have it. You go to a rookie symposium. Now, undrafted guys don't go. But all the draftees, they go to a symposium, and it's a seminar that breaks up into classes and workshops and a lot of game type learning activities in order to inform guys about the wealth they're about to come into, how to deal with agents, how to deal with the media. I'm sure nowadays they probably have a workshop or a station that's about social media because it's such a big impact. And it kind of walks these guys through the introductory stages of what it's like being in the NFL with all these responsibilities.
Is that where Chris Carter tells you to get a fall guy?
Yeah. That's where Chris
Legendary
Carter...
moment.
Yeah, he says you got to get a fall guy. So media has worked into that.
Okay.
Now, it's also broken down. Each team with all their rookies, usually the rookies have a certain amount of hours that they could be at the facility to learn rookie stuff. So after organized team activities or mini camps or even training camp, 2 days a week, the rookies have to stick around for a presentation of whatever that theme is for that day. And sometimes it would be media, how to handle the media. In New England, we used to have one of the generals. He was the guy who handled the media. He was in the Navy. He handled the media immediately after 9/11 for the White House.
Oh, wow.
He would come in and teach us basically how to deflect, how to dictate, and how to take control of an interviewer when you're being asked a question.
How do you do that?
Well, whatever someone answers or asks you, you can answer it however you want.
Right.
And there's also deflection things where you don't, we always had keywords where ask Coach Belichick, if we got uncomfortable, if we didn't know what to say.
You had outs.
Outs. We had outs. And the only reason we would do this and we would do these little media teachings or handlings or seminars is because we didn't want the media to be a distraction. And I know Bill gets a terrible rap for how he handles the media, but that's just strategic so he doesn't give anything to the media.
Mm-hmm. Right, that was crap.
That other guys sometimes do.
Yeah.
If you listen to a head coach going into a game sometimes, they'll give you the first goddamn 15 plays they're going to run because they're going to tell you we've been emphasizing this, we do this. And it gives you, a little advantage if you're listening. You know what I mean? So, or if you listen to a guy say, hey, this whole week we've been working on our drop back pass game because we feel all right, so fellas, put your antennas up. They got some drop back pass that we're going to be seeing. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that can be used as an advantage for your opposing team. So that's how why Bill would bring in certain people like this guy who deflected everything after 9/11.
Yeah, like freaking
And he
Donald
would just show
Rumsfeld
us
up
little
there.
techniques.
Yeah.
But that's why he would do it, because we didn't want to, A, give anything to the opponent. B, we didn't want to make any distractions, because football and pro football for an athlete and a coach is hard enough. It's fucking hard to win the National Football League. Okay, now try doing it when you have a Spygate, a murder, a fucking deflate. Like, then it makes it even crazier, because all you're being asked after that point is about that specific thing. So it becomes distraction, and that's something that happened because of how maybe someone handled it in the media, you know? So we were just always taught that, like, we're here to get better. And because that's ultimately what we're really there to do. You're not lying, and you're not just giving a line. That's literally what the focus should try to be. Like, when you ask someone about an injury, okay, if you go out as a player and you say, well, you know, I think I'll be back in 6 weeks, okay, comes back in 4 weeks. Oh, well, the doctor didn't know what he was saying.
Is he ready?
Is he ready? Is he not? Comes back in 4 weeks and gets hurt. Again.
Soon.
Oh, was it too soon? All right. He says 6 weeks. It takes 8 weeks. Oh, what
Was there a setback?
Was there a setback? Was the rehab terrible? Oh, he's not healing. So, you know, why would we go out and say that? Because all you're going to have to do is answer about that again. So, like, that's what, you know, getting better each day in the injury thing, the whole injury answer that you always hear is because that's the honest truth. You don't want to put a deadline on something that you have to be accountable for when you don't really know how your body's going to react. Because, yes, that's what it is for standard, but you could be either above or below the standard on that specific injury. So, like, there's just a bunch of ways that we were taught, literally taught, on how to handle the media through, you know, multiple different ways, you know, with the team, with the NFL. Our team, individual team, was a little more about it. And that was just so we didn't make a distraction, which is an oxymoron considering what's going on in North Carolina.
What were some of your favorite, like, deflections or, like, go-to, like, out phrases?
My favorite was always just ask Bill.
Ask Bill.
Yeah.
So if I'm like, oh, Brady's been hurt, is he going to be, there's whispers if he's going to be playing. Do you have any information on that? You just go.
Well, on that, I would speak more. There was a set of lines. Speak for yourself.
Okay.
Put the team first. Don't believe the hype. Ignore. Like, there's all these little things. So if I can't speak for Tom.
Mm-hmm.
You go ask Tom.
Go ask Tom.
Go ask Tom. You don't want to speak for someone. So that was something that he would always talk about. Give me another one. Let's try it again.
Looked like you got a little banged up on that 3rd and 7 catch out there. How are you feeling?
You know, it's after a game. We were all banged up after a game. You know, we'll go in this week and try to get our body back to the best we can. You know, it's going to be against another new tough opponent, but it was good to get out of here with a win and get that play in. But, you know, after games, we're all banged up.
There's a lot of controversy surrounding the most recent wide receiver signing. A lot of people saying that it shouldn't have signed this guy amidst everything he's got going on off the field. Well, can you tell us how it's going in the wide receiver room?
Look, you'd have to ask Coach on that. I'm just here to worry about improving myself. All I keep hearing is if we all individually improve ourselves, collectively we'll improve as a team. So I'm just taking Coach Belichick's words, and I'm trying to improve myself. You can ask Coach on that.
You just lost 43-7, second straight loss. What needs to change around here?
We need a new fucking coaching staff. This place fucking sucks. You know, it's tough to win the National Football League. You know, we got to get back to the little things. It all starts with practice. So I'm sure that we're going to have, you know, a good week of practice this week to give ourselves our best opportunity to go out and win. We need to practice better.
Were there ever, we just did a fun little role play exercise there. Was there ever like a practice role play with you guys? Like before the season?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bill would be like, Bill would literally call like the rookie guy, like, all right, now, rookie, how fast are you going to be? You just got hurt. How many weeks are you out? And the guy, if he was listening, he'd be like, yeah, I don't know, day to day. You know what I mean? It would be like,
You passed.
Yeah. It was always so much easier for the defense.
as usual.
Always.
Were there reporters that were a little bit more safer than other reporters?
What do you mean?
Like Mike Reese knows the deal and he's not going to come in and try to stir
Yeah,
shit.
you kind of knew just through
Yeah, local beat reporters
local
versus
people.
national reporters.
You know what? I honestly, I think the local people in Boston have always been like, I was always pretty decent with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I never felt like I never had a bad instant where I felt like someone was out to get me, or, I understand. If you understand what they're trying to do and what they have to do, and sometimes you don't because it's right after a game and you're emotionally, physically, mentally exhausted, but their livelihood is to try to report on your team, and this reporting essentially is what makes our sport our sport. Giving the media access to the players, which the fans are granted, and that's what it makes the thing go. So it's hard to understand that as a player sometimes, but I felt like everyone was pretty. I mean, there's guys. I felt pretty decent with everyone.
We were also a decade into like the Belichick regime. They kind of all knew the deal.
We had a lot of media in our locker room always, but it would get heated up when we would play like in the playoffs. And, when you get the people that are coming from the other cities that we don't play very often, how they would ask questions would be different.
Yeah,
Then
like you
how
get the Cowboys are in town.
Yeah, like they don't know how we handle our meet. You know what I mean? So, but I felt, Boston gets this whole rap of, their sport talk is crazy.
Yeah, the radio is.
The radio is, but we didn't see those people in the day-to-day locker room, like the people that were all the beat writers and stuff. I remember when fucking Ian Rappaport was a little beat writer. Like Ian was in there. There's a bunch of the guys on the TV now that are all like big TV guys. They all started doing this shit, and then they hustle. They're hustlers. They're in there every day trying to make a fucking story. And you got to think about that. And it's not our job to give them a story, but it kind of is.
No, it's true.
So it's like,
when you understand that relationship and the give and take and you're right, what they provide to the game, it changes the whole perspective.
And it is hard for an athlete after you get your teeth kicked in and you lose a crazy game and they got to ask the questions, but it is hard to answer questions that you think at the time are stupid.
Right.
But you know what I mean? It's part of it. And I think that the media, there's a lot, you could tell that there's a lot more media training now.
For sure. And you think about a city, I mean, I'm a homer for sure, but like you think about Boston, what other city has 2 24-hour sports networks, 2 major newspapers with like Hall of Fame level columnists, insane sports radio that like is, I mean, like making.
There's probably like
some of the
5.
highest paid. Yeah. Like
3. There's like Chicago has
Dallas.
that probably. New York probably has
crazy.
that.
Dallas.
That's about
Dallas.
it.
Just for football.
Yeah, but Dallas doesn't have the network. They don't have Nesson. They don't have like NBC Sports Boston to that capacity. Like,
Do they not?
I don't think so. New York, I think
They
New
have
York.
Yes.
Well, they have
Network.
their own.
Yeah, New York does for sure. But it's I feel like the like you said, the microscope and wanting to make stories and being there every day and like the level of professionalism is really turned up in Boston.
But I just think you can use the media, like you can use them in a positive fashion.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
there's countless guys that always got a break with them because of how they treated them. You look at like how Matthew Slater would, or like if you like he would always treat everyone with so much respect that because of that respect, they wouldn't ask him stupid questions.
Yeah.
I like that.
So you can, how you are to them is how you're gonna be treated.
Yeah, so get them on your side. I'm with you.
You know what I mean? A little bit. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I would be tired in some days with certain people, but there's no hard feelings. Now that I'm on this side of the line, it's like now I appreciate what they do because I'm sitting there not in New England anymore. And we still have to talk about them. I love to hear about what's going on with the Patriots. So I'm relying on the beat writers now on what's going on, even though I know, with what they write is
You know
not
the
always,
lens.
but
You know the
you
lens it
still
goes
get
through.
something out of it.
I was gonna say because when it's training camp time or even practice, we're refreshing Mike Reese's Twitter. Like
Mikey
those are the
Reese.
guys. Yeah, they're the voice of the what's going on and keeping it real.
How often, like, what are your media responsibilities like through any given week during the regular
Media
season?
responsibilities. You are available if you are not hurt every day to the media, Monday through Thursday, or Monday through Friday, or could be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like our main practice days. After practice, media is in there, or it's before practice.
And available means like in the locker room after, or like press
You
conference.
have to be available for, like, that was another thing. Like half of our guys, like more than half of our guys, whenever the media was in there during the regular day, was like out. They didn't want it. Everyone was so scared to say something wrong that no one wanted to do the media.
Just scattered.
So everyone would like be in the weight room or somewhere, and usually you have certain guys that would talk, and you had certain days after a while that you would go. Usually it was probably like once a week.
When were they allowed in the locker room?
They've been at Win.
Yeah, like is there like
There's a slot-
after
so-
practice? There's an hour that they can be.
So during the work week practice or during practice week, they're there an hour, like right before you're about to go out to, I think, is it before? I think it used to be before. It used to be before
Okay.
practice. And then after the game, you have 10 minutes to like clear your thoughts. And then they come in right after that 10 minutes.
That's kind of crazy.
And then you might get called to the podium.
Then Stacey James is our media guy. He would call the certain and round up the guys that would go to the media, or he would kind of give you the, hey, we're just going to do you at the locker. He was like the main point of contact for everyone,
in between
with everything. Like if you didn't go do media for a couple of days, Stacey would come and say, you haven't done media in a couple of days. The NFL can find you.
Yeah.
He would kind of be a reminder, and he used to have to, like, he used to have to deal with everyone, coaches, players, anything to do with the media. Stacey James.
He dealt with us from the other side when we were doing the documentary. Yeah.
That's such a tough job.
Yeah.
I can't even
Can you
imagine.
imagine going to the head coach after getting losing in a soup? Hey, coach, we got to go do media, or grabbing Tom or grabbing Gronk, or he had to grab everyone at the highest of the highs, but also the lowest of the lows.
That's brutal. So was he? If say you did slip up and you did give him a soundbite and you did say throw somebody under the bus, is Stacey the guy you go talk to, or they would call you?
Yeah.
Into
What
his
happens
office,
if like someone says something that gets to be national news or bulletin board material?
Oh, that very next day, team meeting,
Ooh.
8:00 sharp, could be headlining the fucking coaches meeting. Things not what to do in the media.
Oh, so the whole team's hearing this.
Whole team.
Oh, jeez.
This is an example of what we are not supposed to do.
And they'd play like a clip.
Play the clip, read the clipping.
Did that ever happen to you?
No. But
Thank
didn't he do it
goodness.
to Light? Didn't Light say he did it to him?
I believe that's
Oh, for
now
the
that
when
you
he
mention
did
it.
the
The media thing.
yeah, or the union, the players
union,
union.
yeah.
Were there any like habitual line steppers?
No, because what our coach would do is before, like in his teaching on how to do the media, he would grab examples from other teams.
Okay.
Oh, that's smart.
And he'd be like, this is like what we're not supposed to do. Okay. And then the guy would say, yeah, it's look, it's fucking mini camps. Like this guy was in college last year and this is what he says. And it'd go like, look, I think I'm going double digit sacks this year.
I'm the fastest wide receiver in the league.
And then Bill, he would read it, but how he would read it would fucking, everyone would start laughing and shit. Look, he'd read it like 11. Look, and he'd have like a little like, fucking Lawrence Taylor didn't even do that. And then he'd keep reading, you know what I mean? Read
yeah,
it.
just belaboring
Killing
it.
the kid. And then he'd go like, so he would give us examples on what not
Not
to do.
That's pretty funny. That
The
sounds
guys that like regularly show up. It's Deion Sanders.
No, it
I'm
would
just
be
here so I don't get
current.
fined.
It'd be current
Marshawn
guys.
Lynch.
Marshawn, yeah.
I'm
It'd be
just here
current
so I
guys.
won't
No,
get
it'd
fined.
be because those guys could say stuff to Bill.
Yeah,
That's
they've proven
Deion
them,
Sanders
yeah.
and Marshawn Lynch. It'd be like a no-name guy saying something that like is fueling the fire for the other guys.
What part of your career did you start getting a little bit more leeway? And not just for like, interviews, but with some of the media that we were doing.
Social media, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
commercial, social media.
I would say after the Super Bowl.
okay.
The first
The
one.
first Super Bowl, I mean, after the first big contract, maybe.
Yeah.
But
You know, it's a New England media moment I really like. And I would like to find this specific item when Chris Long wore the Julian Edelman mask at his locker. I want to find that. We got to get that in the Nut House.
freaking long.
Get
What was the
actual
story behind
mask?
that again?
I don't even know. He just bought. He spent like $2,000 on getting a mask made of my face, and he did the media in my yellow shirt, my red beanie, in my mask. Do we have the picture?
I got it here.
Tyler's put it in there.
Fucking Kyle
I think about that like kind of
or
weirdly often.
Chris.
Kind of nailed it.
He kind of did.
Is that your Kent
Those
State
are my
shirt?
earphones that I used to wear all the time.
Is that a red J11?
No, that's I would always turn my hat inside out, so it was just red.
I don't know why I think about that like somewhat often.
He's so fun. He was a fun teammate,
Chris is the man.
We got to
Chris
get
was
him
a fun.
in the Nut House.
man. But yeah, it's also media is very different now because a lot of these, it's going to be interesting to see what the league does because a lot of these guys won't say anything to the league's media and then they just hold it on their podcast,
I was gonna say
which is brilliant.
Which is smart. Absolutely.
Which is brilliant, like Micah
Yep.
and
Puka,
there's
or
the
St. Browns.
St. Browns.
Yep.
I mean the Kelseys.
The Kelseys, absolutely.
They're the pioneers of it. Really, there's other guys that do it, but like they were real like two prime guys
that were active.
prime active stars.
Yeah, guys that weren't going to get the call, every Tuesday.
Prime active stars.
what do you think would happen if, say, the year is 2017 and you went to New England's head coach and said, I'm starting a podcast, coach. Weekly? We talk football every week. I'll have guests on.
You know what? At that point in my career, if it was done, I used to do a radio show
That's true.
that the team did. The
Right, that
team
was
would,
like
and it
Brady would do one,
We
right?
would do the radio show for like, you would do the radio show and they would give you like 100 flights of JetBlue.
Oh, that's what you get for it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
You know what I mean? Like,
Mint?
so-
You get mint?
yeah, mint.
Nice.
But you get taxed on it, so
Uh,
you're paying 33 cents a dollar. But regardless, you would get paid stuff for that radio show that was associated with the organization. So if I knew what I know now, what I would have done is probably formulate my own and make it about things I was comfortable about talking about, and then hire my own advertisement so I can make money directly instead
Big
of getting
brain.
free
Podcast.
tickets.
big brain.
Podcast.
I would probably yeah. That's what the guys are doing now. Because like
I mean, we were pitching games with names and making games with names a thing when you were still playing. Like we were going to set that up potentially.
we did not yet.
We were pitching it, and it would all kind of happened right when you were starting retiring.
No, I thought that was like 2019.
But we were developing it to do while you were still an active
But
player.
we were a podcast, not games with names. We didn't know the concept yet.
Because the reason why we did it evergreen and on Tuesdays was because of off day, and it wouldn't be touching hot takey shit. And you could record a bunch
Yeah, but we
at once
could never
and then do
interview
it.
someone on a Tuesday. This wasn't
Yeah.
thought about until at least 19.
Well, you were still playing in 19.
I know, but it wasn't 17.
Well, semantics.
Ah,
You were
just
still
threw the year out
active.
there.
You were
2
still
years.
active.
2 years.
We were formulating
2
this
years.
while you
17
were
and 19. That's 2 Super
A
Bowls.
lot of good football left to be played.
Yeah, that's difference. And like,
I was talking about
Everything.
if you were active or not.
yeah,
That if you had played another year, you probably would have been doing this show while you were active. Now it wouldn't have been like talking about fucking the game right after the fact. We probably would have recorded a bunch in a row in the off season and dropped them out.
it was hard for me to do that stuff though.
I know.
Like I don't know if I would have been able to do it because you got to be able
We also didn't know what we didn't know at that point.
Right.
Either, about what it took
and it wasn't
to do
what
this.
it is now.
Yeah,
but
there weren't many active guys.
Yeah, we didn't know what we were doing then.
I did think about the team whenever we did anything.
That's the difference between you and most other guys.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't want to get too big and loud with our stuff. What if your play starts slipping, and then
Remember,
Right, you look like a dummy.
Remember with the fucking NFL Films documentary in Mexico that you recorded that we were down in like June or something in Mexico. You tore your ACL
Right after.
that, and then that August or whatever, and then that aired after you tore your ACL, and people were like, "Why is he skateboarding with an ACL?" They couldn't comprehend that we did it off, and there was a lot of heat. Not a lot, but there was enough people talking about that. So it's shit like that.
yeah, it's just sad.
Because you got to think about it. There's no I in team, but there is an I in Instagram. And there's an I in Twitter.
And TikTok.
And Twitter and TikTok.
Yeah.
You got to think about that.
No YouTube.
It makes
though.
no sense at all, but I'm just saying it.
YouTube.
There is a 2B.
There is a tube.
Okay. All right. I think
That
we've
was
done this.
terrible.
I'm
That one
sure
whiffed.
we've missed a lot of questions. I'm sure we've missed a lot of like intricacies that people might want to know about the NFL media. So please, the media landscape. So please put your questions in the YouTube comment section or anywhere you can comment. We've been pulling them and doing it. So any more questions and nuance on this stuff, please let us know.
About educating the fans here,
Yeah.
baby. Shout out Mike Reese.
Shout
out Mike Reese.
That's
We
the
love
first time I've
Reese's
ever been
Pieces.
starstruck. At our premiere, Mike Reese was there. I was like, oh my God, Mike Reese.
No way. That was your first one.
Yeah, but I didn't talk
Mike
to him.
Reese wrote like my first article, I think.
That's so cool.
He went to Jewish camp with us off.
He's got aura. Mike Reese has aura.
Mike Reese felt safe.
Because he's a good, he's straight up, man. He's not some gotcha guy.
Yeah.
He's a legit.
Substance.
And
Yes.
he would like let you know when he like, sorry, Jules, I got to ask it, but you know, like literally,
is
you
it?
could see in his eyes that it hurt him that he had to ask me a certain question. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know,
Because
but
you know
I-
probably he's getting pressured to get
Yeah.
some stuff too. Yeah. Well, shout out Mike Reese.
Shout out, Mike
Shout out
Reese.
Reese PC.
Tom
Love it.
Coran, love Tom.
Tommy.
Jeff Howe was good to us.
Liz, who's Elizabeth? What was her? She was always. We always talked about our backs. She had bad back.
I was going to say, did you develop a little bit of a personal
Yeah, I
relationship
mean,
with
you've
some
seen
of them?
these people for 12 years.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we know birthdays, quinceañeras, bar mitzvahs. I mean, you see it all.
I love that. Shout out Zoe. Love Zoe.
So,
You should get him on.
Oh, I would love to have Zoe on. I watch Ian,
Zoe
Ian beat
would
all
be
the
fun.
time.
We got to get Zoe on.
Heck yeah.
Well, that was the Chill Zone. Thanks to our favorite beer, Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/GWN and celebrate responsibly.